CARE's Tanya Raw answers your questions about food aid reform. Please tell us what food aid is all about.
U.S. international food aid is part of the U.S.'s response to global hunger. Most of the time, that means delivering food in an emergency, like a disaster or a conflict. But the U.S. also uses food to respond to some long-term hunger needs. There are actually almost 850 million people around the world who don't have enough to eat on a daily basis. 850 million people is almost 3 times the U.S. population. That means we have a global hunger crisis, which means that all U.S. programs to address hunger are vital.
How much time and how much money will it take to get food aid where it needs to be?
How long it takes and how much it costs to get food to where it needs to be depends a lot on where it's coming from and where it's going to. Usually, the U.S. ships food from the U.S. to where it's needed, but that process can be quite expensive and quite slow. Organizations like CARE can also buy food locally or regionally, and that can be the best solution for several reasons. Let's take a look at each one. First, buying food locally is cheaper. It can be as much as 50% cheaper than shipping food from the U.S. Second, it's faster. Buying food locally or regionally can be as much as 2 months faster, and in an emergency, that speed is incredibly important. And third, when we buy food locally, we can support small-scale farmers who are themselves trying to lift their families out of poverty. When we buy food locally, we support those small-scale farmers, we help build local economies so that we're contributing to long-term solutions to hunger.
I want to help you and work with you.
It's great to hear that people want to help address global hunger. When we hear that there are almost 850 million people around the world who don't have enough to eat, the challenge can seem daunting, but we each have a critical role to play in making sure that U.S. food aid programs are as effective and efficient as possible. Share what you've learned about global hunger or about how to make U.S. food aid programs effective with your family and friends. Contact your policymakers to let them know that you want U.S. food aid programs and policies to be effective and efficient. And you can always learn more at CARE's website, www.care.org, where we have a video that you can share with your family and friends on social media, or different actions you can take to make sure that U.S. food aid programs are effective and efficient.